Hey friends, so got some epic news for you. We have decided to now put our 200-hour Moon Sunfire traditional Hatha yoga and meditation teacher training online for absolutely everybody. Why would we even consider restricting access to the most valuable information that has ever blessed the surface of the earth? It's criminal. We couldn't do it. So, we understand that not everyone can make it to Bartley and do a YTT, that maybe not everyone is even interested in doing a certified teacher training program because not everyone wants to be a teacher. But everybody wants to access their own, I'm making an assumption, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think everyone wants to access their own innate power, capacity, and connection to that higher aspect of themselves and live a life that is full of soul-aligned achievement, joy, radiance, happiness. We want to thrive. We all want to thrive in our own unique ways, but we cannot do that unless we have access to our own inner reservoir of power and have that clear connection to our own source so we can understand what is my truth? Who am I really? What are my beliefs? What am I here to do? Is this my path or is this just my programming? And we need a very clear mind. We need very good connection to that higher dimension of who we are. And then we need the power, the pranic power, to put those realizations into practice. This all comes down to having a solid understanding of the energy world, more than an understanding of our muscles and bones. The fact that yoga has been turned into an anatomical expedition is insane. Yes, we want to know how to keep ourselves safe doing asana, but if the asanas are that complex that they have a potential of injuring you, they're probably not the ones that you want to be doing anyway. That's beside the point, because asana was never about muscles and bones. It was always about liberating and conducting energy for higher purposes. To get energy moving where there was previously stagnation, to send energy in certain directions so that we can then meditate in those specific areas with more precision. And by doing that, access the higher part of who we are and switch on our dormant spiritual powers so that we can thrive in life. What's happening in yoga at the moment is a reversal. It's a complete movement away from the traditional teachings of yoga and why we practice it. It's not about the body. It's never been about the body. It's about your energy and it's about your mind, and ultimately it's about understanding how those things and mastering your energy and mind contribute to you mastering your life and living the life that you truly dream of, and not just some average, mediocre, get by, it's not too bad kind of an existence. We're not here to be mediocre. We're here to be extraordinary and excellent in our own unique ways, connected to soul. But that won't happen if we are not practicing correctly and diligently. What is correct practice? It's got nothing to do with showing up at studio classes. Even if we're doing it 7 days a week, a studio class designed by a teacher who is not you and doesn't know you intimately and isn't teaching the class specifically for you is never going to design a class that can evolve you. Daily classes at studios, that's helpful in the very beginning just to understand the terrain. But if we are truly to evolve and to master not only our practices, but master our lives, which is the ultimate goal of yoga, then we need to understand the science of yoga so that we can organize and orchestrate specific, very targeted, very systematic, very precise practices, asana, pranayama, meditation for ourselves in our own unique personal and spiritual needs. And then those practices have to be done committedly over larger arcs of time. 40 days is the minimum amount of time that we need to be doing a singular, personally tailored practice. 40 days is the minimum. 108 days is even better. Then we really get evolutionary traction. But if we're just doing classes here and there, dropping into studios, that's okay for 6 months in the beginning. But after that, we need to be practicing at home by ourselves and really taking the reins of this yoga thing for ourselves. Become our own masters, our own teachers. That's what the ancient masters wanted for us, not to become disciples and minions of others, but to master ourselves by using the practices correctly. That's why we want to get this training out there to as many people as possible, because after you do this training, you don't need us anymore. You don't need anyone anymore. You just need your practice. The training, the home study program, will give you the knowledge. It will give you the lineage sanction, the traditional understandings of why we practice, what all of the techniques do in terms of your mind, your energy, your evolution. And then it will show you and guide you into constructing personalized practices for you so that you can become what you are always meant to be, which is sovereign, which is autonomous, which is your own guru, your own master. So it's time to smash down these hierarchical yoga pyramid structures where we have the guru at the top and everyone else just, begging for the crumbs. That needs to be abandoned and abolished, because that never worked and it will never work. What works is us becoming increasingly more self-reliant and self-accountable and doing our practice every single day in a way that is meaningful, and that probably means gritty for ourselves, and showing up and doing the work, doing the asana, the pranayama, the meditation, and it has to be those three things. If those three things aren't happening, then we're not addressing our body, our energy body, and our mind. And that is the pathway back to soul remembrance, back to higher self connection. That's the pipeline, that's the pathway: body, energy, mind, source. So we need asana, pranayama, meditation in that order, and we need it daily, and we need it systematic, we need it scientific, synchronized to our personal needs. That's why we're offering this course out to everyone who wants it, because everyone deserves these teachings. Yoga was always for everybody. At a certain point, the teachings got hoarded and they got held prisoner by the orthodoxy. And then there was this era of time where priests were forcing people to pay for the teachings to get their spiritual sustenance. So only a specific bracket in society was able to receive the teachings. That created the spiritual dark ages of humanity. And it was never meant to be that way. All people, young, old, men, women, everything, all classes, not castes, because that caste system was brought in at that same time when the practices, the teachings were hoarded by the orthodoxy. It was the orthodoxy that set it up. When we take practice into our own hands, we do our part to smash down that fraudulent system, which we still see remnants of, echoes of today. That has to go. We have to rise up together. And we do that by practicing, We will give you the knowledge. We will give you the technology so that you can become sovereign, autonomous. You can master yourself. You can master your mind, your energy, and your life through your practice. That's what the masters of old wanted for us. They wanted self-mastery for us like they organized it for themselves. And the thunder rolls in just that auspicious moment. So if you're interested, it's there, it's available. Just jump online and just start going through the teachings and the practices at your own pace. But I'll say this, don't do the course, don't do the home study program and then not start practicing in 40-day blocks. Otherwise, everything that you study will be worthless. Use the lectures, use the practices to learn the terrain, to learn the language. But then afterwards, that's when the real yogic journey starts. It's all about personal practice. The thunder gods agree. Okay, so there it is. That's what we're offering. Get stuck into it. Do it at your own pace, but do it. Do it sequentially. It's a systematic process, this program. So go start to finish, do all of the practices in that order. And then when you get to the end, create a practice for 40 days and do it. And then another one, and then another one, and then another one. And work through what you need personally. Maybe it's moon first, then a little bit of sun, then into the fire. By the end of the training, you will know exactly what you need. And all you got to do is do it. That's the recipe for self-mastery. That's why we're offering the home study program to everyone. So enjoy it. Thank you very much. Namaste.